Hello you guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am so excited to share with you the San Francisco Flower and Garden Show that happened this past April. So in this video, we're gonna look at some fantastic booths that stood out to me. There were quite a few, but I am primarily going to focus on one with Japanese maples, as you can see right in front of us, as well as some carnivorous plants, some beautiful flowers, some truly fantastic cacti and succulents, and a wonderful display of bonsai. So the Japanese maples that you see directly in front of us is actually from a grower up in Mendocino, and their company is called Essence of the Tree. I will link to their website in the description box down below because they have a pretty fantastic story and an incredible selection of Japanese maples. So this is just kind of a small selection of everything that they have to offer, and their variety is just so extensive. They had this fantastic little leaflet magazine that showed all their items. And here we go into the carnivorous plants, which is something that is so exciting to me. I've grown up never having any of them, and just now into my adulthood, I have, I think, two of them, a monkey cut plant and a Venus flytrap, but there's one in particular that I am very interested in getting next, which is, I believe, called the octopus plant. At least it reminds me of an octopus. You can see it right here in front of us. And they basically just stick onto the little buggies that creepy crawl onto their leaves. They coil up and, well, digest them into their plant bodies. Here are some of my favorite flowers, those puffy little things with little pin cushions that stick out. I will definitely include the name because this is not the right way to describe them, but going into the succulents, there were just so many that stood out to me, honestly, and I hope that you guys can all capture it in this video because I was just so overwhelmed trying to scan them all. Like the blue cactus, like, are you seeing this? It is so unreal, and I definitely have FOMO from not purchasing it, but you live and you learn, I suppose. At least that's what they say, so hopefully next time I see a blue cacti, I jump on that occasion. But this variegated one is also just utterly mind-blowing. I'm a sucker for variegations in general, though, so super fun little flower crinkly little guy. I didn't even know what to think of that one, but he's beautiful to look at, and some wonderful aloe in the back. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I present you with quite a lengthy display of some truly tremendous bonsai. So if you have a drinkity drink in mind or a snickety snack that you're hoping to grab, this would be the perfect part of the video to grab one and to just really soak in all the artistry that goes along with these amazing specimens. I tried to film it so that you would see the name as well as the tree itself, so that you can kind of, well, look at it, and if you're trying to build your own bonsai collection, you kind of know what type they use to create that look. And a lot of them had some really wonderful wiring work done inside of the bonsai itself to kind of hold its form, so that was really great to see. I believe that in some of the video ahead, you will see some of the wiring technique that they used. I will zoom in to show you, so if that is something you're interested in, just stay tuned. Don't worry, it's coming. But also, down in the description box or somewhere in the video, I will include my favorite bonsai, so that if you kind of want to jump to the favorites as opposed to seeing everything, you're more than welcome to do that. But yeah, some of these were just so incredible, and they had so many on display there. I love that mix of the dead wood included with like the live tree itself. It's just so fantastic. And I was hoping to actually include a bonsai of my own, but when I was there I found out that Well, you have to register a little bit in advance, but then also I was hoping to use a jade, which you cannot use. For it to be an official bonsai, it has to be woody, and even though jade trees kind of have a woody-ish appearance in their trunk, they are not technically a bonsai item. So that was wonderful to learn. But in any case, it was still fantastic to see, and they included some really cute tiny little pots, kind of like to break up all the fantastic larger displays that they had. But even in addition actually to the display that you are seeing right here, they had an artist, I guess is what you would definitely qualify him as, who was doing a live demonstration of how he in particular bonsai'd his trees. He had, gosh, I believe it's called a Dremel tool. Yes, it is called a Dremel tool. And a very light kind of buffing, almost like a really thick wool to kind of smooth out the trunks of his different bonsai. And I thought that was so interesting because I had never seen that done before. Just to kind of make sure, I guess, that it wasn't super textured or woody, that it came off really smooth, and it was fantastic to see. And it gave, well, not too shabby of an odor as well. It was kind of like a, well, campfire-y scent, which was kind of interesting. Although, I guess a given, because, I mean, campfires are definitely fueled with, well, toasty wood, and that's exactly what he was doing. So, yeah. This is kind of a funky little one, doesn't it? It's like a little snake. Very cool. So in any case, this was my first time going to any sort of flower garden show, especially to this extent. I had heard good things about this show before, simply because I previously had been working over at a nursery that was selling tickets for this event, and people would come in hoping to get the tickets, and they're like, oh, we're so excited, it's gonna be at the Cow Palace this year. And I guess in previous years it had been at other locations, and everyone had really great fond memories of this show at the Cow Palace as opposed to the location they were using previously. So there was a lot of hype in the Bay Area about this coming back to the Cow Palace, and it was pretty exciting. There were less vendors than my mind had envisioned, but overall it was a really fun experience. I went with some friends and I went with my dad, and we all had a really great time. And I think for myself personally, the bonsai side of it stood out so significantly just because of how incredible some of these displays are. Oh, and here is some of the wiring that I was talking about earlier, so hopefully you guys can see just really how in-depth and how finely tuned these little wires are onto each and every individual branch. So definitely took some note on that one. I have a very tiny tea tree bonsai of my own at home, and so maybe I should consider wrapping it up like a little mummy. So look at how fantastic this is. That is so fun. I would love to have, well, this one, but really any of them in my own personal collection, as I'm sure you guys all can relate to. But yeah, I mean, what can you say? It's just some fantastic trees right here. So in any case, I would love to know which of these trees was your favorite, which bonsai was your favorite. You can let me know down below if you stop it at a certain point, and you can kind of share the time at which the plant was shown, and then I can see which one was your favorite. But this was a wonderful standout, a wisteria bonsai. I mean, wisteria in general is such a gorgeous tree to look at, gorgeous flowering plant, and to see it in bonsai, girl, I was a little bit shook by it, and it was fantastic to see. And junipers, of course, were a huge popular item for it, understandably so. And here's actually some smooth wood. I was talking about that earlier, and you can kind of see in that little one there that it was smoothed out, which was nice to see. But yeah, I would love to know which one you guys were most impressed by, just so I can see the different tastes. I always am so fond of like I guess what you would call them, the draping ones, kind of like how this one was tilted over to the side. I love the way that looks, like the tilted over to the side. Oh my god, it's a skull. But the way that it's tilted to the side and kind of droops down is always kind of a soft spot for myself. That's kind of exciting. That and the deadwood. I also like the deadwood. It looks interesting. Ooh, we got ourselves a climber. Hello there, little Billy goat. I'm gonna call you Billy. Billy goat. Are those donuts? That's an interesting bonsai. Called the donut bonsai. This one gives me a mild Dr. Seuss vibe or something like that. How twistily it is. So this one was very interesting because it was suspended, well, in air with wires and just kind of had that high voltage warning thing. So I was very tempted to touch it, but I also feared for my life, so I did not. But that was a pretty awesome display to see up there. Gosh, those little pots are so cute, aren't they? And this one, that lush mossy grass, my gosh, makes me want to turn into like a little tiny ant and creep crawl all along that little mossy stuff. Looks very comfy if you're into that kind of thing. And that is such a tiny little pot for those roots in there. It's so amazing to me how they can kind of stabilize it in such a beautiful way. It's mesmerizing. Same with these little plant stands even. That beautiful mahogany color is pretty amazing to see. Well, but I think it's also just because I love the color mahogany, but I mean, that's what I gotta say about that. Little hummy hum hum. Ooh, festive. I loved the spacing of this one. It was very pillowy if you kind of look at it, right? It's like a big old lush pillow. That's me when I wake up. Look at that! Look at it! If you're not paying attention to the video, look back at this one. That's a very full one. Peekaboo, I see you. And see, the wiring was in there as well. They had thicker wires on that one though, I guess because it was a thicker tree, but oh, this was one of my favorite parts. All the tiny little pots with a little bonsai in it. Just kind of peeking out. Gosh, it's just so pretty. I would love to have something like that on display. Just stare at it all day long. Standing right in front of it and staring right at it. Have a staring contest with it. Beautiful right there, huh? All that detail, that awesome wood. I mean, when you see it in person, it's even more mesmerized than seeing it on this video. You could spend hours, honestly, examining the detail of all these trees, and I hope that my video is able to pay at least partial justice to these, because they are truly, whoop, got a little shaky there, truly just fantastic works of art. And this is kind of what I was meaning, that kind of droopy down look is always kind of exciting for me on the bonsai. But let me know if you've seen bonsai shows where you guys are, how they compare to this one, because as I said, this was my first and I hadn't really seen anything like it before, and so I was pretty much blown away, because it's like when you go from not seeing anything like this to seeing all these fantastic works, it's pretty amazing. But part of the San Francisco Flower and Garden Show is these mega setups, and right in front of you here you can see the Thor's Hammer setup. But there is different groups that kind of get together and place these really ornate displays of nature and plants, and I think there were even fish actually, like water and indoor ponds, and oh my gosh. And so the winner of this, I guess, gets, you know, notoriety for being the winner of the flower and garden show, and so in here I'm going to show you some of the ones that they had, some of the displays that they had, as well as the winna chicken dinners, because it was just, I mean, not something you see every day, especially not indoors. So a lot of people took a ton of time to landscape this out. Oh, this was so fun. If you like Lord of the Rings at all, I thought that was so cute, and I like Lord of the Rings. I mean, I call my house the Shire, so it's kind of like, this was fun. I didn't go in there because it was so popular, but in any case, here are some of the winners. I believe, oh gosh, yeah, this was the one with the koi. I guess you would learn that, huh, based off the title of Don't Be Coy, so... but this was the #1 winner right here, and it was, I believe, supposed to be focused on like sustainable living, and they had some bamboo and a little walkway with some water. I mean, it just, the amount of time and effort that people put into this is just pretty fantastic. So with that, I am going to show you my haul from the trip. I got my first ever Japanese maple, which is the one that you see right here, and you probably have seen it in my past videos. Well, I will link to that at the end of this one, where I show you my entire Japanese maple collection, and this one was recently added to it. I love it so much. It's a pretty fantastic specimen, and yes, yes, yes! So excited about this. It's a variegated zebra plant, or zebra succulent. Oh my gosh, I had seen this one online, and when I saw it in person, it was just another very exciting moment in my life. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you so much.